Jason Gray, and I'm sitting down today with Stuart Burnham from the Campbell County Fire Department. And it's wintertime, and that means heating, and that means risk of winter fires, really. You want to talk a little bit about that today?
Yeah, thanks for having me, Jason. It's an opportunity to really cover something that's important, that plays a large factor in the fires that we see. We know that in order to have fire, you need some sort of ignition source, and the ignition source can come from heating devices, heating appliances in your home. And in fact, nearly half of the fires that occur during the wintertime are related to heating equipment. And those can space heaters, furnaces, devices like that. So it's really important to understand that there's a risk associated with that, and it may seem benign or not that dangerous, and in most cases it's not, fortunately. However, we need to make sure we respect that.
Sure. I mean, mostly not dangerous is not the same thing as not dangerous at all.
Yes, yes, exactly. And in fact, I brought some information and some facts from the National Fire Academy and U.S. Fire Administration that they published. And in fact, it states that heating equipment is involved 1 in every 6 home fires and 1 in every 5 home fire deaths.
Oh, okay.
And so nearly 20% of the deaths from home fires come from heating equipment.
Gosh. All right. And what do people need to do? What steps should people take to prevent that?
That's a great question, Jason. So first thing is distance. Obviously, if space heaters, they're designed that if you follow the manufacturer's recommendations, that nothing bad should happen. So you want to make sure that those space heaters, that they are at least 3 feet away from anything combustible. And even when you're really cold and you want it close, it's best if you still create that distance as well, just to avoid any injuries. And at nighttime and in your offices, if you're not there and you're not present and able to take care of anything if it happens, you should unplug it. Yep, and then another part of it is as people go through winter storms, sometimes the power goes out and they use generators to help supplement the power in their home or to replace it when it goes out. Make sure that the generator, if you're going to use it, if it's not designed and installed to be right next to your house, if it's a mobile generator, try and separate it as far from the house as you can, just for safety purposes. And when you have heating appliances, part of that combustion, carbon monoxide can be created, and so you want to make sure that you have a carbon monoxide detector in your home and that you check it once a year just to make sure that it functions properly. And those can come in different ways. Sometimes in smoke detectors, they will have them integrated into there, or it can be plugged into an outlet, or it can be mounted right onto a wall. So unlike smoke detectors where it's important to keep it high, carbon monoxide can be placed at any level and still be effective.
Okay. All right. And, you mentioned plugging your carbon monoxide detector in, but appliance plugs are also something to consider, right?
Yes. So the heating appliances usually require more power than most other items that you would plug in. So we recommend just plugging one heating item into one outlet at a time. You don't want to overload the outlet and create other issues.
Sure. And as an alternative to electrical heating, lots of people have, fireplaces.
Yes, they do, especially around here. So we recommend at the fire department that you have a qualified professional come out and clean your chimney every year and perform an inspection, and just to be sure that everything is in order and it is able to perform the way that you need it to when it's cold.
All right.
And when you, part of that cleaning, not just cleaning the chimney, but when you're removing the ashes out of the fireplace, it's important that you place it in something that's non-combustible. We recommend a metal pan or a metal container, and that container has a lid on it, and you're able to set it at least 10 feet away from your house, so you can avoid combustion and any risk of that starting a fire.
Even on ashes that are cool and older?
Yeah, so sometimes those ashes can insulate heat, and there can be other hot coals or embers inside of it that you might not see or might not recognize. So it's important that you take a precaution and you separate it from your house and avoid that risk.
Okay. All right. And is there anything else for January then?
Yeah, so again, just as the weather changes and we get more snow and there's slippery road conditions, just increase your following distance, slow down, and be prepared.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming today.
Thanks, Jason.